Bhyom Namaha. Today's talk is on tapas by speech. Bhagavan Krishna, it is a very essential point he has covered in 17th chapter, 15th sloka, which very clearly says, Anudvega karavakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva Vangmayam tapas uchyate. What is the tapas of by talk? Anudvega karavakyam, satyam, priyahitam, priyam and hitam, swadhyayam. These are all things. So, what is the meaning of that? I have put it that summary in the form of a chart. Not raising BP, anudvega karavakyam. That means sweet tongue, Priyam hitam, sweetly you have to talk. Truth, satyam, reading good literature or Vedams or any Vedic literatures or any God realization informations. That is known as Swadhyayam. Talk when necessary. These are the things. I may repeat again, not raising BP, sweet tongue, truth, reading good literature, talk when necessary. So, let us go into the details. Krishna says, tapas is need not necessarily sitting in a Himalayan cave and doing it. Even a modern man can do tapas through the body, through the speech, and through the mind also. How it can be done through the body, I had already covered by a video earlier. You might have seen it. Now, in the second part, I am covering on tapas by speech. It is most important. It is very difficult to practice. I am also practicing to a greater extent. I do not say, but let me cover the issues. Not raising BP means, suppose when you want to give an advice to somebody or when you want to talk to somebody on an important issue, you will be telling, you don't know, this is very essential for you, this is for your own important, for your own sake I am talking. The moment you raise your voice, howsoever your intentions may be, it won't go into the other person's mind. It will increase your blood pressure and increase the blood pressure of others. The purpose won't be served. So the first point is, don't talk anything that increases the blood pressure. This is like closing the door. If you hit the door strongly, instead of getting closed, it comes back. I don't think that I have to give more explanations on that. For that, you should have a controlled speech is the most essential thing according to Paramahamsa Yogananda, my guru. That is the first step in the yoga. Controlled speech. Neither excess nor short, what is required only to be said in a particular tone. Vishnu Sahasranama says for this, Sughoshaha. That means your voice should be moderate and soft. That is essential. Your voice should not raise BP in others. Your body also. Body, mind, everything. Your posture should be in all respects. You should not increase BP in other person. One. Second is sweet tongue. What do you mean by sweet tongue? Medha Suktam, it is a part of Vedam, invoking Goddess Saraswati. What the line says is, Jivhayam Madhumattama. I was not understanding. Shanmukha Shastri was kind enough to give a good explanation. Karnabhyam Bhuri Visrutam, Jivhabhyam Madhumattama. Tongue should be like honey. When somebody is singing a song so softly and so melodiously, what a melodious, like a honey, the words are flowing through his mouth, so melodious to hear. So your tongue should be so soft. Other person not only get hurt, will not be get hurt, and he'll be very happy to hear you for some more time. Otherwise, if you are not having a soft tongue, people will avoid you. Your purpose of talking to others, making them hear you, gets defeated. So first thing is, if you want to be more acceptable in the society and your word really to go into the heart of your beloved ones, your tongue should be sweet and your voice should be soft and you should not have any emotions involved in that. For that it is easier said than practiced. I suggest very practically, even before giving this video, 2 or 3 minutes I maintain silence so that I will compose myself. There is no BP in my delivery. That is essential. If you are having any emotions or any tension, still have a glass of water and then start talking if it is required. Third is truth. In the name of maintaining sweet tongue, don't flatter anybody. Suppose I want to tell my son, if he is going for a gambling, it is not correct. I have to say him, son, it is a very risky thing to you. Kindly do it. It is not a good thing to be practiced. Try to avoid it. If he is smoking also, it is not good for your health. Try to avoid it. Try to avoid it. You are a good boy. But at the same time, my voice may be anything. Okay, you are taking, you are a correct boy. A few things, smoking is okay to you. I can't say like that. I cannot flatter him. Be perfect in telling the truth in a way acceptable to others. But you at the same time, the truth has to be delivered. That should not be compromised. Then reading good literature is the essential point here. Swadhyayam. Reading good literature means, I will talk in 2 ways. If you read mantrams, Purusha Suktam particularly, and Sri Suktam, Narayana Suktam, Durga Suktam, the phonetics will activate your entire body. And it will activate. So the tongue that is given to you is to utter some good words, bijasharas, so that the tongue is used to generate energy in the entire system. So that is the purpose of this particular, what you call reading good literature. Purandaradasa, you must be knowing, he is an incarnation of Narada, they say. He is a Karnataka saint like Tyagaraja. He was singing in Kannada, Narayana Ani Anabarade. That means he says if you are having a tongue given by God, you are not dumb, unlike animals. Why don't you utter the name of Narayana? That is how the song goes. So that is essential. Second thing, okay, let me talk from the modern point. Suppose you are having a tongue and you want to give a good speech also. You are reading good literature. What is good literature? John Ruskin says, a good book when you are reading, it is the precious lifeblood of a person. It takes so much pain to prepare that particular book or that video for that matter. So why don't you take advantage of that particular one? So when you are reading your things little loudly also, it is good for the entire body. So they use the tongue to read the things and educate the people, a kind of things like that it is required. Don't waste your thing. I want to tell you one more thing. I know one of my uncle who is no more. He was a labor officer. He was not having good delivery in the beginning. When I went to his house, he was reading papers, English papers, little loudly. When he was doing that reading little loudly, he developed his flow and other things. He became a very eminent lawyer. So the tongue can be polished. The more you practice with the tongue, it can yield better results. Another thing is, talk when necessary. It is also essential. To prove ourselves that we are something, we go on talking. That is a waste of time to you and others also. You are wasting your energies also. Sringeri Swami, Bharati Tirtha Swami was telling, if you poke your nose in the affairs of others, you are the loser, because they don't like in the beginning. I do not know whether they really like you or not. They said advices should not be given unasked. Is it not? Generally, all the saints say so. And your time and energies both are wasted. At the end, you will be finding the more you talk, you are revealing more, you are exposed more, and more contradictions, more arguments, and more misunderstandings, and later on further explanations to avoid all that. My dear friends, this is not an ordinary video which I am talking to you. At least let me say a few words. Whether I am doing or not, At least I was losing a lot of time in arguments earlier part, up to 55, 50 also. Then I stopped. I analyzed it. Self-analysis is the most essential thing, my guru says. People are not suffering because they are passing the days without bothering to make a honest self-analysis. Arguments will not help. Fools argue, wise discuss. If you are finding a capable persons and good people, elderly people, saints and great scholars, definitely you are welcome to discuss few points on which you are having the doubts and get clarified. That is welcome. But ordinary gossip in the name of people, that will take you nowhere. Other person is also not up to the mark. He goes on giving his perceptions, and you have to contradict him, and he'll be getting wild, and you will develop bitter enmity with him, and this will not take anywhere. And there is a proverb also: if you talk with your tongue, you can win over an enemy, or you may get into a quarrel and lose a life also. And Woodrow Wilson, if I am correct, brevity the soul of it, it was said. In American story, two journalists were arguing. Woodrow Wilson is a man of few words. He won't speak more than 2 words. So one of the journalists said, I can make him talk more than 2 words. They entered into a bet. Then the boy went to the president. Sir, I made a bet to make you talk more than 2 words. Will you oblige? Woodrow Wilson said, you lose. So you can imagine. Then truth, when it is necessary, means some exceptions are there. Generally avoid it. But Lord Rama was Purvabhashi. That means he will inquire, how are you, to the people, public. Mitabhashi, he talks less. And Hitabhashi, what is required? That is required. Then truth is essential in the sense, Kabir, there was a story, believe it or not. I was surprised when I was reading the story. It is even, on the face of it, it is unbelievable even to me. But you should have the faith and depth to understand that. The story goes like this. A thief was chased by the king's soldiers. The Kabir was weaving cotton. A heap of cotton was there. This thief came running to Kabir. Sir, protect me. Soldiers are coming. I want to hide. Where can I hide? Kabir said, you hide under that heap of cotton. That fellow hid. Then the soldiers came. Asked, have you seen any thief coming this side? He said, Kabir pointed out to the heap of cotton. He just pointed out there and he was doing his weaving. Then the robbers thought, soldiers thought, he meaninglessly is talking. What that cotton, and he is not looking also. He is a madman. They never took his word seriously. They moved out. Then the robber came out. Sir, what is that you have told? You have shown my position. I said, I told the truth, that nothing will happen to you as long as I am talking truth. You believe it or not. Then another Vedic story, another similar situation. The staff, soldiers were chasing a thief, a man, whether a thief or not, we do not know. He hid behind a tree where a saint was meditating. The soldiers came and asked the saint whether he has seen the thief. If saint says he has seen the thief and shows him, the thief will be killed. So he will be doing a disservice. Then what he said diplomatically was, those that have seen cannot talk, and those that can talk have not seen. That means the eyes have seen, but the eyes cannot talk. And the tongue can talk, but the tongue cannot see. So that is how he has answered. The soldiers got confused. They thought he's a madman. They moved out. So this is a diplomatic way of telling the truth sometimes. So that is one essential. The last but important point. Today, I was reading Vishnu Sahasranama a good number of times, but today a point has come. It is not out of the way to point out Jitakrodho Bhayapaha. If you are, as I told you, Jitakrodho means, Jita means conquering. Krodha means anger. If you conquer the anger, Bhaya Apaha, you don't have the fear. Suppose you enter into arguments and you talk little more and you hurt somebody, you pass a remark on other person in the argument, heated arguments, and in your effort to show your oneself one man up, or that you are the slightly better off in the argument, you don't know kind of things, if you say, other person is not only hurt, he will develop a revengeful feeling, and you will be fearing whether he is having really revengeful feeling or not. You will not have the sleep. I have heard him. He is a very powerful man. He may hurt me. You will be living in the fear because you have talked excess, unduly, unintentionally, and you unprovoked, you have indulged in a kind of a reckless speech. So that has happened in a speck of anger. So the anger has to be controlled. That is Vishnu Sahasranamam is telling, Jita Krodho. If you control your anger, you will not have the fear. Bhaya Apaha. Bhayam, that means fear, will not come to you if you are controlling your anger. That means anger, how it comes, also one of the reasons is your speech is very essential nature. If you can use your speech properly, polishedly, it is good for your own health. I repeat the word, it is good for your own health. Analyze this particular point calmly and practice, and good for your family members and good for the society also. Don't waste your time in WhatsApp and other kind of things. I stopped WhatsApp and other kind of things, and sometimes 4 or 5 days I have wasted my time in looking to some videos. I feel sorry for that. With a lot of controlled mind, very difficult to control the mind also, I could come back and restore myself also. I don't mind. I am a practicing yogi. It doesn't mean that I should be 100% perfect to deliver a point, but wherever genuinely I feel something to be delivered, I am going systematically, 17th chapter. Let me go. After that, some other issues I will cover. Om Tat Sat. All the best to all of you.